Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Spyro for Year of the Dragon, Part 22. We're in Agent 9's level, the Agent 9's lab level. The professor's going to show us another invention that Agent 9 is going to use. We're going to use bombs to destroy the armored Rhinox, and we get them from these vending machines. Ooh, we have to go to a vending machine to get more weapons. What does that sound like? The best part is this vending machine's free. You don't even have to put any money in it. Then again, what kind of currency would you put into it? Gems are the only real kind of currency that seem to exist in this game. I don't think you can fit a gem into a vending machine, but then again, if Ratchet and Clank can put bolts into their vending machines, I'm sure gems aren't much different than putting bolts into a vending machine. You also put like some test tube beaker thing out there, we could kill it, and it's pretty much in some much more health. So we got a green Sparks. Now, yeah, Sparks is a little bit weak right now. You have things there, and it has like a crosshair at the bottom that shows you if it's going to be a hit. That's not always accurate. Sometimes it's red and it still hits, and sometimes it goes green and it still doesn't hit. So it's kind of difficult to tell sometimes if it's really a hit or not. And this is still like precursor to Ratchet and Clank stuff. Because Ratchet and Clank, one of the first weapons we get in the game is going to be some sort of bomb-throwing weapon, and the can originated in this game. Throwing grenades, throwing bombs. Remember some kid at middle school asked me if Wolfenstein 3D does anything like that, and I said no, he doesn't. Then he thought, that sounds lame. He thought Wolfenstein 3D was a very lame game. Yeah, I bet no one in 1992 said that about Wolfenstein 3D when they saw it for the first time. Yeah, that kid really needs to go back to 1992 and 1993 and find out why games like Doom and Wolfenstein 3D are so well liked. They deserve to be well liked. They revolutionized the gaming industry, and this game deserves to be well liked too, because this game is pretty revolutionary too. It's better than a lot of other games that came out. I guess you could say it's better. Probably is like the best of a lot of their games. I think this game's a lot better than Banjo-Tooie. It's better than some of the Zelda games that came out during that time too, and it's probably better than Kirby 64 as well too. This is probably my favorite game that came out in the year 2000, and Kirby 64 came out that same year. That game was decent, but it can get dull quickly. And then there's Banjo-Tooie, and then that game is good, but it's not as good as this. There's that Spider-Man game as well, too. I'll be Let's Playing a Spider-Man game at some point in the future. I'm going to be doing a bunch of Let's Plays for the time being. I have a lot more Let's Plays planned. Got another egg. I have 108 eggs now. Starting to get into the home stretch of the game. Almost every egg in the game has been captured by me. I'm getting more gems. Yeah, I always pick up as many gems as possible. If you never know when Moneybags going to randomly show up and make us buy stuff again. Eventually, he's going to put some sort of lock onto your system. So it's like, if you want to continue playing the game, you have to give him 10,000 gems or something like that, or 2 billion gems eventually, with inflation and all that. And he's probably going to be doing that too if you want to keep playing your game, since I hear physical games are becoming the way of the dodo now. I think Sony just announced that they're not going to be making physical games anymore, which I'm kind of surprised they waited this late to do that. I thought that would have happened a long time ago. Not that I care about that, since I don't really care much about newer PlayStation games anyways. So what does this matter to me? I care mostly about PC games that get re-released nowadays. I just recently bought Galactic Patrol on Steam. On Steam, Galactic Patrol recently got re-released on Steam for less than $1. I got to buy the game, and it was a very great game. It was a great experience. The guy that made that game actually ended up in my Discord server, and he told me about this new game. I'll be making a video of that eventually, promoting the new Galactic Patrol, and it works like a charm. I was actually able to play it last night with my controller, my gaming controller that I use. It looks like an Xbox Series X controller, and it worked like a charm. That actually worked better than when I tried using my mouse. I thought my mouse would be good for that game because it's a trackball mouse, like the kind you use for playing Centipede, where you just roll the ball around. It's like a trackball, but it doesn't. Yeah, but it wasn't really the best experience. Or what do you expect? A mouse? Mice were not made for gaming necessarily. Same with the Logitech mouse. It wasn't really the Logitech trackball mouse. People look at me and think, how do you use that thing? It looks impossible to use. It looks like you get a severe headache if you tried using that. Well, I've been using that mouse for like 5 years now, and it's always worked well for me. I remember my kindergarten classroom back in the early 2000s had a mouse like that, where they had this large computer, that large beige stained looking computer that was running Windows 95. Yeah, I remember when computers looked like that. Some people said this new desktop computer I got looks kind of vintage, but it's new. It was manufactured in 2025. Then again, a lot of people don't buy desktops much anymore, so they probably don't bother to put much effort in designing nice looking desktops. I wonder if desktop computers is ever going to make a comeback, especially now that Gen Z is really getting into new old technologies coming back. like flip phones, VHS tapes, physical media, the Democrat Party. It's all coming back thanks to Gen Z, and I think desktops could also make a comeback there too. I just hope satellite TV or cable TV doesn't make a comeback. That technology deserves to remain dead. I never really liked the concept of having to watch something when it comes on TV and you have to pay a subscription for it. That sounds like a dumb idea. The people just used it back then because it's all that they had. I know there's more gems in this level, so hidden gems, hidden secret gems. I think there might be, I'm not sure if there's any more. I think I got all the eggs in this level now. There's only like 3 eggs in this level. Most of these like levels that introduce you to a new character usually have fewer eggs, like 3 eggs or so. I'm just gonna go and snipe them out. It's almost like playing Star Wars Battlefront 2. You go into sniper mode and you just aim, and you just use your mouse and you aim the crosshair over the enemy you want dead. Click your mouse and they're dead. Yeah, I got a lot of those vibes from playing this. I wonder if anyone's ever going to mod Agent 9 into any of them, to Star Wars Battlefront or anything like that. He's actually a pretty cool character. Sure, he's not as good as Ratchet, but again, Ratchet wasn't that great in his first game either, compared to how he was in the sequel, so what do you expect? This guy, this Agent 9? Yeah, he is an underrated hero, I think, an underrated Spyro character. We don't talk about Spyro. We don't really talk about Agent 9 that much. I remember Arnold from the first episode of Hey Arnold was called Agent, or one of the first episodes of Hey Arnold was called Agent 9, when his grandma took him to that place where they have that aquarium place to rescue that sea creature, whatever it was, and she called him Agent 9. I wonder if that's where they got the name from. Arnold was Agent 9. I was reevaluating Hey Arnold. I reevaluate Hey Arnold all the time, and I'm trying to think, I wonder which Hey Arnold character is the most worthy of getting arrested. It's probably Oscar Kokoschka. He'd be saying, "Oh, it was just a joke. Haha, we like to laugh. Haha." I'm pretty sure that guy's an illegal alien. He lives in America. He's clearly an immigrant from Czechoslovakia or somewhere like that. And he just lives and he just leeches off of his girlfriend, or I'm not even sure if they're married or not. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't do anything yet. Somehow he got to move to America and he got to be lazy and sit on his butt all day, every day. I'm pretty sure he's an illegal alien. He deserves to get deported back to his non-existent country, since Czechoslovakia doesn't exist anymore. They probably still existed at the time they conceived A. Arnold, so I guess it kind of makes sense there. But he is lazy. He uses people for things. You can see why he's like one of the most hated characters from that show. He's a character we're supposed to hate. And I just 100% completed Agent 9's lab. We got 700 gems out of that level. That's more gems than there are in a lot of other levels in this game. And we found every single individual gem and 100% completed the level. I think there's some gems in the Midnight Mountain world we still haven't got yet. Just from roaming around. Look, there's a red gem hiding over there. Gems are always hidden in the dumbest places ever. Like you could spend years roaming through these levels, and after so many years of roaming for them, you finally find, oh, the gem was just hiding over there this whole time, under our noses, and no one ever bothered to notice. No one really bothered to care or notice about anything like that. I think the homeworld has tons of levels in it. I don't know which homeworld has the most amount of levels, but I think this could be a contender for that, considering how many levels are in this homeworld. Smash all those crates and destroy those things and get all the gems. I actually left a lot of gems behind that time I went through here and collected all the eggs. I was really on a roll. I was on fire. I was just running through everything and just going collecting everything, going Rambo on this level and collecting absolutely everything. Don't you just love collecting absolutely everything? I know I love collecting absolutely everything. Absolutely everything is what we're supposed to be getting in this game. That's the whole premise of this series of videos. Harbor Speedway. I think this is the last real speedway in the game, if I'm not mistaken. And it's at a harbor. It's already used. I think they did use a similar venue in Spyro too. They already used a honeycomb speedway. They already used a country speedway, and they already used I think they already used a mushroom speedway. I think so. This is all that's left to use. Is the only logical choice left would be the Harbor Speedway. And the music in this level is very familiar, because I remember I had the black labeled version. That was the only version I had when I was a kid of this game. So version that I got back in 2012 when I first bought this game. It was a black labeled version. In the black labeled version, it uses the Harbor Speedway music for most of the speedways in the game, even the Honey Speedway or Honeycomb Speedway. I know that name gets contested all the time. It uses that same Harbor Speedway music, so I've heard this a lot. It's almost like the unofficial theme of the Spyro pre-speedways, pretty much. I don't know, Stuart Copeland got lazy or something when he did the music too, which is why they reuse the music a lot in the black labeled version. I think they fixed that, but they fixed that in the green labeled version, which I guess is a major plus, a major reward. I remember I also, in addition to all those green labeled copies I saw of this game at that swap meet, I also saw the collector's edition one, which is pretty much exactly the same as, I don't know which version, but it's pretty much exact same thing, but it doesn't have any Crash Bandicoot demos in it. Guess Crash Bash being on here is the reason why they did that. They didn't want to give away Crash Bash for free. They were frying down these fish that somehow can live outside of water. I don't know, maybe someone gave them some kind of injection or something like that made them. It's like that time I was watching goldfish surgery, some doctor performing surgery on a goldfish. My mom thought that idea was ridiculous. Why would you give a goldfish surgery? Well, goldfish are a well-liked house pet. Everyone loves to have goldfish in their house, and goldfish can live a very long time. They like to have their goldfish live for 20 to 30 plus years or more. They're some of the longest living pet goldfish that I know of. And we just rescued Kobe. It makes me think of that tablet I had that I got for Christmas in 2012. Around the time I was interested in this game, my father bought me a Kobe tablet, and it sucked. And people didn't even believe me that Kobe was a real company. They told me it's called Kobo. I'm thinking Kobo. Well, it clearly says Kobe. It's spelled C-O-B-Y. I'm pretty sure you'd pronounce that as Kobe. Then again, I never actually heard anyone really say the name Kobe before, so I have no idea if that's really how it's pronounced or not. I heard that company went bankrupt, I think, or went down under, because it's probably in Australia now, where all the defunct companies from America like to go down there, like 7-Eleven, Kmart, the Democrat Party, and more. I'm sure they all like to go down to Australia after they failed in America. It's good. And I'm actually impressed that I did that whole speedway in one take. I didn't do any editing there for that for that attempt I did at doing the entire speedway to go for all the targets and stuff. I actually did it all in one attempt. It usually takes me at least 5 attempts, but I actually did it all in only one attempt. I know maybe they got lazy by the time they got to this part of the game. Thought, what's the point? Most people have already had enough of a challenge as is. Let's just give them something more fun and relaxing. I don't know if that was their intent or not. I'm not even sure if this game has adaptive difficulty or not. I know the Ratchet & Clank games have adaptive difficulty, or if you fail like so many times in a row, then it makes the game easier for you. I don't know if this game does. I'm not sure if PS1 games in general really do that. Make themselves easier from failed attempts. I'm already in first place. I just barely blinked and I'm already in first place. I'm already winning this race against those birds, those things that look like giant albatrosses. Well, I guess you'd see an albatross around the harbor, or maybe even seagulls. Like, maybe they're like those aggressive seagulls they have in Australia, where they actually like to attack people. If you're eating a chicken sandwich from Hungry Jack's, they're going to want to step on it and bite at it and maybe take it out of your hands while you're walking down the wharf or something like that. There's a Hungry Jack's there, and people probably get their Hungry Jack's food stolen all the time from the seagulls. From the seagulls, those dreaded seagulls they have there. Is seagull hunting going to become a thing? Maybe that's the real reason why duck hunt exists. So you could hunt. It's really for hunting seagulls. They want the seagulls to think you were hunting them down, so they replace them with ducks. Quack, quack. I think we're in first place now. Still in first place. There's no real map of the race course. I have no idea how well I'm doing against my rivals. But I always know how well I'm doing against my rivals in Ridge Racer for the PSP. I think Ridge Racer for the PSP is my favorite Ridge Racer game. I actually think it is better than R4. It's a lot more relaxed. And yeah, it still has its challenging moments, as it's like a hybrid of all the previous Ridge Racer games. It adds new features too, and new music, and still has music from the other games too. It overall is pretty much the ideal Ridge Racer game, which is why I like it. I think it's the best one. For the longest time I was wondering which one was better, that or R4. I think it is better than R4 Ridge Racer Type 4. That one's still pretty good too. We collected another egg for that. And there's one more egg left in this level. It's of course going to be from doing Hunter's Challenge. We're going to go through those crab things and those fish that can somehow breathe out of the water. They also look like sardines or something like that. I don't know, maybe they've been overly processed or something like that so they could be shipped away somewhere. Sardines. Yeah, someone gets a living sardine on their plate at a restaurant. It's like on AFV when they go to a restaurant, they see they have food that's still alive being served on their plate. He's still obsessed with the flying sheep, a plotline that only seems to exist in these speedways. The only person that ever mentions this plotline is Hunter himself. What do they have against Hunter? Did Hunter ever do something to them? We know evil alien invaders seem to hate cats of some kind, or you know, the cat type, or some variant of the cat. They always seemed like Bubsy when he went against the aliens in his first game. It was all about an alien invasion. And now we're playing as a cheetah that's going after these evil sheep, these sheep invaders. The only time I really saw it mentioned by someone not Hunter was in Spyro 2. That was in Spyro 2 and not in this game. I know, maybe they put some kind of curse on him so he only sees them in his mind. Maybe we're all inside, maybe this is all inside Hunter's mind, some sort of hallucinogen maybe. And then it became the premise for a bunch of great mini-games. There's another character we could play as in this game that's not Spyro. Hunter the cheetah. Pretty sure he's a cheetah. I'm gonna go over these rings. There's rings of smoke. Someone damaged him and he's stalking him now, waiting for him to get killed. And flying for these rings of smoke is somehow gonna... green smoke is somehow gonna stop him from getting killed. I don't really know if I've seen... I think I have seen green smoke before when Transformers exploded. Some people don't even know though that we have Transformers. Wonder how they think we get our electricity. He just suddenly crashed in the most convenient place to possibly crash the ship. He says the egg popped out just before it was destroyed, but even if the egg was still in, I'm pretty sure these eggs are indestructible considering a lot of the other things that they go through. And we rescued yet another egg. Rescuing more eggs, collecting all the eggs. I'm gonna ask if we still want to stay here and do more stuff now. We're done with this level. At least I think we're done with this level. And we got an additional 400 gems for doing that. Ray Phoenix, signing out.